Alright, if anyone's watching, if you want to know what I did, I got tired of flying through that flat and narrow, or flat and level airspace. So I decided to jump ahead to my descent and take it over from there. I am still in autopilot. I'm set at 5,000 feet, but I should be much closer to Auckland.
Savson 1384 heavy radar contact 7,500 feet. Altimeter tree 0.1 tree. Copy Savson 1384 heavy.
Alright, we have gotten into our 5,000 foot descent there. We descended from roughly around 10,000 down to 5,000. We will go ahead and continue cruising here and on our way into Auckland. Get my throttle into the correct spot. When I fast forward in time, I didn't realize that it adjusted my throttle back to idle, and so although it did descend properly, it was trying to go back up to 5,000 feet, which it was just slowly falling like a little rock. Go ahead and bring down the throttle some, not really. Go ahead and get that slowed down real quick. So I'm cruising right around 350 knots, which is definitely fastest I've been besides when I was overspeeding the airframe. But working my throttle, just trying to find that sweet spot. Altimeter set properly. Looks like that reset as well. For those of you still watching, I'm just setting up my assist so that I can actually see where we're at in terms of our destination. So we are roughly about 430 nautical miles out. And I do this because I do not have a chart or anything like that. I would normally have this type of information on either my iPad, flight computer, that type of deal, or on a chart in general, and that's just not available to me. And I don't know the onboard flight controller if that actually has a way of knowing relatively easy. But it will be a total of 1,165 nautical miles upon completion of this flight. Buttons here if you guys are professional pilots at all. This is pretty damn accurate to what I can find in pictures. I have never seen the cockpit of an A320 before, but at least not in person. It is fly-by-wire, so you have a little stick on this side instead of having a yoke in the middle, and it's very interesting when you try to change direction or like pull up or anything like that. There is actually a delay. I don't know if that delay is evident in real life or not, but in the video game it definitely is. And it's a good thing I have fires turned off because it doesn't look like I can push the fire buttons at all, so about 400 so nautical miles away. People making fun of me, telling me not to crash. Well, I promise you, I've only crashed one time accidentally. It was a little Cessna 152 that I decided to try to fly into San Francisco while it was raining, and I'm on final approach, hovering over the runway. I thought I was down on the runway and released my my joystick, and I just plummeted to the ground about 50 feet, nose diving into the runway. It was very interesting. Luckily, I was not recording at the time, so there is no proof other than what I say. So I took off, if you're just joining, I took off from Sydney, Australia, and I'm flying to Auckland, New Zealand. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I am about 402 nautical miles away. Yesterday I flew from Honolulu to Kona, and that's only about 126 nautical miles, and it took me an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm hoping the fact that I'm traveling at 280 knots, I get there a lot faster than in my little Cessna traveling at 70 knots. So right now I'm allowing my flight computer to control the plane, keeping me level at 5,000 feet and steady at 280 knots. I will have to take over when I go on to approach, and that is probably when the fun will happen, and you'll see me crash and burn. It's a very tiny airport. I can kind of show you guys what the airport looks like here in just a second. So the airport, zoom out on this little diagram here. So you can see the airport there. That upper image is what the actual airport looks like, and then that zoomed in area is of that black box that you see there. So it looks like a single runway airport. You got 05 right, and 23 left if you were to, depending on which way we're coming in. I'm not sure yet which way will be my approach. Depends on what they give me when I get there. But I believe when I was setting up this flight, it was 23 left that I chose. I think we're still too far out to key in to listen. Let's see. Yeah. So it's not finding any airports close by, probably because I'm still, 340 nautical miles, or 390 nautical miles away. I think this is normally where, you know, we get to take a nap as a pilot here, autopilot. Got my pilot monitoring there. He can watch the plane while I take a nap. It's not all that late though. It's only 8:30 here, and for some reason I am incredibly tired. So this is probably a big no-no, but I'm gonna disable my autopilot and see how I do flying this big old beast. Oops. Get that open, but get it off my screen there. One thing I haven't checked since I've began flying is my fuel levels, and it's still looking good, so I'm happy with that. I did put it up to about 75% fuel, which is more than what the system said I would need to make this flight, but you never know. This is what always happens when I take over manual control. I end up not on my flight plan like I should be. So if you see the second monitor down there has like, it kind of looks like a radar next to my attitude and airspeed and altitude indicator. I am never ever manually flying while I'm on that line. So if you see me staying 100% on that line and it looks good, looks like I'm a pro, yeah, it's definitely not me. It's either going to be my autopilot or my co-pilot that takes over. Because I'll start looking at scenery, and next thing I know, I'm in a hard banking left turn or something, and well, then I get off flight. So I am flying with my Xbox controllers. Not the best when it comes to controlling the aircraft. kind of very touchy. Like if I give it any bit of rudder at all, and like a little Cessna, my plane just shakes. It's like the triggers don't know how to be variable. It's just either 100% or nothing. Very well could just be me as well. I mean, look, see how far off I am already again with this flight plan, looking around. Also well below my 5,000 foot mark is where I wanted to be, 4,600. Let's get back up there. See if we can jump ahead one more time. I'm gonna go ahead and jump ahead to our approach. I do not have enough fuel, so we're gonna do what we call a aerial refueling in these wonderful jets. So just imagine you see a tanker out there in front of me, and there we are back to maximum fuel, and I should be able to jump now to approach. Now this will be 100% manual flying. I won't be engaging the autopilot. I'm not really sure what it would do anyways, because I don't have anything programmed in, and I am not familiar with it enough to be able to program that in. Alright, so we're going to give it a shot.